Yo, what's going on guys? Anders here, and today is finally the day that I'm gonna be giving you a tour of my new studio. On this video we're gonna be focusing mainly on the things that I use for podcast and live streaming. But before that, I want to give a huge thanks to our sponsors, Media and the Creator Align, for providing me with very cool stuff that help me to improve the studio. So welcome to my new studio. Let's get started. Alright guys, so we are gonna start first in this place that I call the corner of gaming. I need to make that effect because I don't know how, but you know. So basically this part is where I save all my physical copies from video games. You call it from PC, consoles, and whatever that I have. I even have some collectibles on top. But let's start from this side. On this place, I save all my art books that I got over the years from gaming or some that I bought myself. But I'm gonna talk about that more in the next tour when I talk about design and how I get inspiration after watching these amazing books. But right here we have my collection of The Legend of Zelda. And let me tell you guys that this is my favorite games from everything. Especially this one right here. This is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I'm very happy because this is the copy that I have back on the day when I played Nintendo 64. It's like the Game of the Year edition, and it's really good. I try to protect all my Nintendo 64 games in these kind of boxes. Probably if you're interested, I will leave everything linked on the description below so you can find all of the items. Of course, if there's something that is retro, probably won't be there, but like at least like the protector of the boxes and any other item will be listed and linked on the description below. So this is my favorite game ever from The Legend of Zelda, and I'm trying to collect everything. I still missing many of the games, so I have like from 64 to right now I have everything, but I'm missing like the Nintendo original Nintendo versions and this kind of stuff. I also have I'm trying to get like versions from other countries. For example, here we have The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and on top we have The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask version from Japan. There's also like the Europe version, but that's something that I'm gonna get more in the future. And everything here I say is very sad because this is not the final place. I'm trying to get some shelves for everything from Zelda, kind of like what we have here, but I'm gonna place them here in this wall. And the reason that I want to place them on this wall is because when I do live stream, the camera is looking to this wall, and right now because everything is blank, it's kind of boring. But I want to make a kind of a shrine just for everything about Zelda, from books, games, collectibles, everything. So in the future, I'm gonna probably do a video talking about only that. So right here we have all my DS games, Switch, we have some movies, Xbox, PlayStation, everything. But I'm gonna talk about the things that I like the most, which are my Nintendo 64 games. I know I talk a lot about Nintendo 64, but I'm trying to collect a lot of stuff. I know I don't pretend to collect all the Nintendo 64 games, only the ones that I played back on the day. And Nintendo 64, like I mentioned in my past video of the review of the Majora's Mask, was like the console when I actually started into gaming like in a more serious way. So this is another of my favorite games. This is Resident Evil 2. This is actually a sealed copy from the game. It even still have like the price that was, I think it's in Blockbuster or something like that. But yes, this copy is right now like really expensive. Of course, everything depends of the conditions. It's not just about it's sealed. It's like if you have some scratches, that will down the price. But yes, this is one of my favorite games that I have from Nintendo 64. And this one right here, which I actually have 3 copies. This is Jet for Gemini. The other 2 copies are there. This game, my friends, this is like I have a very cool story. I actually make an article that on our site, fearpixel.com, by the way. So I was actually waiting for Resident Evil, which was released in December or something like that, from the same year from Jet for Gemini. But at that time it wasn't released, and I just wanted to buy something, so I got Jet for Gemini when there wasn't any other game. And in the end, it was kind of a risk because I didn't know anything about the game, and in the end was like one of the best games that I ever played in Nintendo 64. And not just that, the music of this game is amazing. Reason why I did on my second channel the cover of the SS Anubis track. So if you didn't listen that song, I suggest you to go and jump to my music channel. But saying that, this is one of my favorite games and my gems of my beautiful gaming area. So it's a very special area to me. It brings me like a lot of memories every time I see this, and I just feel proud, you know. Continue with the room. This is my desk, the place where all the magic happens. You can call it like from podcast, live stream, gaming, design, everything is done on this desk. This is an IKEA desk with the concrete like texture. I don't remember the name of specifically, but we have some Alex drawers. Again, I'm gonna leave everything linked on the description below, so if I don't remember some of the models, I'm gonna let you know. But starting from left to right, we have here, of course, my beautiful snake that I already have like 6 years with her. We have here some stuff, peripherals that I like to save sometimes. It's more like the stuff that I don't use on the moment. I just place them there and then I take them again. I have my iPad. These are the headsets that I use actually for almost everything. These are the Quiet Comfort 35 from Bose and are basically the headset that I use for everything. Number one, wireless. Number two, super comfortable, and they sound amazing. Of course, I don't use them for video producing or audio producing because you need something more flat so you can actually equalize the audio. And these kind of headsets already have equalization fixed. So for everything else, these are like my headset to go. You can travel with them. They actually come in a very cool hard case that you can bring with you everywhere. And yes, these are like the headset that I use for everything for now. My desk is divided in two systems. In this side, we have like the MacBook-Pro. In this side is my PC. And the monitors use both. I can actually change by just pressing the buttons between Mac or the PC. Some of the peripherals are shared, some are like individual. So we are gonna start talking about the MacBook Pro setup, and then I'm gonna talk about the gaming setup. So for my MacBook Pro, I do mostly Switch streaming. As you can see, here is my Switch, and it's connected to this AverMedia Live Portable 2 Plus, which is a 4K pass-through game capture. But the thing that I like about this one is not that it's the only game capture until now that I use that is really stable with Mac, but also that I can just disconnect it and bring it with me. It's actually very small. You just need to bring two HDMI cables, one micro USB to power the LGP2, connect your console and your TV, set the portable mode, connect on the back a micro SD card. You press this button and you can record directly from the console, the gaming. And this is something really cool because you don't need to connect computer, you don't need to do anything else, and you can record that and it's like the same quality. Actually, this one can get until 1080p 60 frames per second if I remember good, and of course can be used also with PC, but I use it with my MacBook Pro because it's really stable. Then we have my monitors, which are the HS5. These are no speakers for gaming or anything like that. Actually, if you want something really professional, you need to get like monitors, and this is what I use in the studios, and I use them mainly for when I'm producing music. But of course, gaming with this is too overkill, but it's also like really good experience. I have the set of the two monitors, and I have a subwoofer there in the bottom. This is the HS8, if I remember good. Then we have my two Asus monitors from forever. That, like I say, I like them because they have dual HDMI and I can just switch between my PC and my Mac with a few clicks. For my MacBook Pro setup, I use an audio interface. This is the Behringer UMC 250. This is a very professional stuff again because I produce music, but of course I can use it for podcast, or I can use it also for recording audio or do music basically. But as you can see, this is one of the biggest updates that I made to my room. This is the Livestreamer M330 microphone for AverMedia. And let me tell you a little bit of backup story why I choose this one now. Before I have the Razer Siren microphone, the one that have USB, and it was kind of annoying because the drivers never fit to my Mac and they always crash, and I cannot really use the microphone anymore. I really get a piece because actually I'm doing podcasting with friends from Mexico. They have a channel called Retro and Digital, and I'm always off, and I was using the microphone of my MacBook Pro, and as you can see, my MacBook Pro is always closed. So I was like buffering and nobody can hear me. The Razer Siren actually use a mini USB, and it's like, I don't know if it's the compatibility or something, but I never get it to use, so I decided to get a new microphone. So one of the things that I like about this one, not just because it sounds really good and it's a condensed microphone, but because I have a XLR cable, so I can connect very easy between my interface on my MacBook Pro, or I can just easily change to my mixer in my PC. So easy like that. And so I just have one cable to switch between my audios, and no matter what I'm using, PC or Mac, I have the same quality. And of course, for better comfort and accessibility, I mount the mic on a mic arm. Let's start talking about what I use for PC. For starters, this is the same PC that I use from forever. So 64 gigabytes of RAM, 1070 graphic card, Core i7 CPU, the minimum to do a good live streaming from consoles. And the cool thing that I have here is the Light Gamer 4K. This is the game capture that I already use, but I actually get something new that I'm gonna use in another PC that I'm gonna talk very soon to you about that. We have my ring light, of course, because everyone needs ring light when you are doing live streaming. Alright guys, so now let's talk about something that I'm very excited to show you. This is the live streaming Nexus. Like I said before, it's kind of a mixer, but it's more than a mixer because you actually have 4 pads that you can program, and you have a screen that has like separate models with like 20 buttons per module. And for example, I programmed to open like my music YouTube channel. If we press here, bang, you open your YouTube channel. One of the things that I want to test is by using Premiere, something like what I did with the Toolbox in my past review. And I want to see if you actually can program Premiere, Photoshop, or something like Edition. But for now, I use it just mainly for live streaming. And one of the things that I like the most is that it actually has an equalizer for your microphone, because sometimes you get like the microphone, but you just hear the microphone too flat. So you actually can take the software, equalize it, you can save the preset, and maybe you can have a different preset. Let's say you want to sound more deep when you are doing the podcast, but maybe you want like your high voice like mine when you are doing like live streaming. So you can do that, you can program everything. It has too many things that I didn't have too much time to do it in place. I still like figure out like what I actually want, because I have like a ocean of possibilities that I can do with the controller. Now let's talk about here, because maybe one of the things that you don't notice is that I always do reviews about mousepads, but my desk never actually have mousepad. The reason of that is because I always drop water, and I already like fucked up some of my keyboards and mouse. So most part of the time after I do the review, I just give it away to my friends, or sometimes I just like save them and I never use them. Actually, one of the things that you will see in the next videos, this is like my server area, and I place here like all the mousepads that I had all over the place. So I have a solution to I don't drop water anymore. A cup holder. How easy like that? I mean, I didn't really pass from my mind, because before in the space that I have in my home, I don't really have like all this. Before there was like some boxes on the right side. So since I have a cup holder and I won't drop any water anymore, I can finally have a mousepad. And of course, the new peripherals for my PC, we have some Cooler Master stuff. I used to have Cooler Master before, but I stopped, and I have a story for that. So before I use this is a Sparta mouse from Asus. If you watch my past video, I mentioned that I do kind of tramp when I play PC games, because I'm a console gamer. And with this mouse, I actually can program these buttons here on the side and do like macros, so I don't really use the keyboard. But yes, since I want to actually start playing with the keyboard and I'm learning, I still suck, but I'm learning. I mean, after using this, it's kind of it's super different and I never get used to the keyboard. So anyways, I want to do the things good. So I decided to get some nice peripherals, and the first thing that I thought, since I'm replacing the mouse, I wanted something that is more small, because if you can see, this thing is like huge, it's almost on my hand and it's kind of heavy. So I wanted something that is light, and I saw this mouse from Cooler Master, which is super freaking light. And one of the things that I like, this is, by the way, this is the MM720, I remember. This is the matte color, 16K DPI, pretty standard. Anti-splash, anti-dust, but the most important is light. And this is what I wanted. I mean, I don't know you guys, but after using like the Magic Mouse and this huge stuff, I just want something light. So, and I think this is one of the things that I like the most, which is super comfortable. It's like, if we are talking about ergonomics, get this mouse. And of course, I cannot get one mouse without getting the keyboard that match that theme. So I also wanted something light. I used to have a lot of keyboards that are metallic, kind of like the Magic keyboard from my MacBook-Pro, but since I have mousepad, number one, I won't hit anymore the desk, but still, I don't want something heavy, so I get this one. For the keyboard, we have the CK352 mechanical gaming keyboard from Cooler Master, and this one features mechanical switch red RGB keys. And most important, it combines with my mouse and it matches the theme of my setup. Now, at this point, I'm still building two setups. One will be dedicated for retro gaming and another one for the newest consoles, which is where I located my Raptor PC. This is the main PC I use for 4K consoles. I actually give it a really big upgrade by changing the Light Gamer 4K for the Light Gamer Duo, which in specs is basically the same as the Light Gamer 4K, but on this one you can insert two HDMIs, which means I can connect two consoles and stream them at the same time, or maybe one console and one camera. By the way, when you buy 4K game captures from Ibermedia, you receive a Power Director license, which is a very reliable video editing software, especially if you're starting. It is very simple to use, you don't need the fanciest PC to can run it, and most importantly, it includes already galleries of sound effects and transitions. So you don't need to waste time by searching sounds or learning how to do transitions. And that's all for today's video, my friends. Thanks a lot to Ibermedia and the Creator Alliance for sponsoring this video. If you like the video, don't forget to give that thumbs up, share, subscribe, and smash that notifications bell. On that way you won't miss any of our future videos and content. This is Anders. See you next time.